Okay, so MRP evaluations. Okay, so MRP evaluation, we will be covering the topics covered in this MRP evaluation is, we'll see first overview. Okay, so we will understand what is stock requirement list and what is MRP list, the difference between these two. Okay, what are the various MRP elements, okay, how to process them in the system, how to do collective access of stock requirement list and MRP list. Okay, what is period totals, what is the use of it, what is order report, okay, how to use order report, what is pegged requirements, okay, what is its importance, what are exception messages, okay, how to process these exception messages, how to use these things. Okay, then we'll see display filter and then selection rule. Okay, what is the difference between these two, and navigation profile. So these are the topics we'll be covering it today. Okay, so MRP evaluations. So normally after executing MRP, after completion of MRP, the planning results are evaluated using stock requirement list or MRP list. Okay, so you use these two tools, these two transaction, or these two reports you will be using it to evaluate your MRP results. Okay, so one is the most widely used is the stock requirement list screen. Okay, stock requirements list. Okay, the transaction code is MD04. This we are using all the time during our training, and the other one is MRP list. Okay, MRP list, the transaction code is MD05. MD05. Okay, so basically what is the difference between these two? Okay, stock requirement list is a dynamic list. Okay, it's a dynamic one. It contains up-to-date information on the current status of stocks, requirements and receipts. Okay, you are able to view any changes immediately. Okay, so if you make some changes to the material, those will be visible immediately in the stock requirement list. So that's why it's called dynamic list. Whereas your MRP list is a static list. Basically, what is MRP list? MRP list, it represents the results of the last planning. That means after you complete the MRP run, that last planning result, it will be shown by the MRP list. After the planning run, if you make any changes that were made after the planning run are not visible. That's what. Okay, after the planning run, if you make any changes, those will not be visible in the MRP list. That is why it is called static. Okay, your interview question: what is the difference between stock requirement list and MRP list? You should be in a position to explain. Okay, so MRP lists are stored in the system until they are either deleted manually or replaced by new list from a subsequent planning run. So when the MRP list will get refreshed, it will get refreshed only when you run next MRP run, subsequent MRP run. Okay, so that is what the MRP list. Okay, now basic structure of both the list is the same. That means the look and feel of the both transactions remains the same. Okay, so that is what the stock requirement list and MRP list. Now we will see it in the system. We'll see some practicals how they look like. So this is how the stock requirement list and MRP list looks. Okay, here, so you will have a header. Variable header. I'll show this. Okay, then you have all MRP elements. You have all MRP elements like your stock, your requirement elements like planned independent requirements, customer requirements, dependent requirements, reservations, all those things. And then your receipt elements, planned orders, purchase requisitions, production orders, purchase orders, and as I told, all the remaining requirement elements. All those things will be shown in the MRP elements screen. Okay, so when you run MRP, all these will get updated accordingly. Okay, and there will be an overview tree which you can hide or which you can open whenever you want. That also I will show you. Okay, so this is the structure of how the stock requirement list or MRP list will look like. Okay, so let me log on to the system. So this is not working now. Okay, so I'll take one of the existing material in the system. Okay, so I'll take this 2094. So now we'll see stock requirement list. Okay, so to go to stock requirement list, you go to MD04. The transaction code is MD04. You go here, you enter your material, you enter your plant, enter. Okay, so this is where we are. Okay, so now here the variable header. This is the variable header. So variable header is this one, this part. This is called variable header. Okay, here you can open it, you can expand it, or you can collapse it. If you click on this button expand, you will get all the data. So you can see the sum of the data from the material master. Instead of going to each and every time material master of this material, you can directly access material master data from here itself. See MRP controller, MRP group, availability check, procurement type, okay, lot size data, your lot size which we discussed yesterday, minimum lot size, maximum lot size, all those things. Then procurement data, procurement type, okay, in-house production type, production storage location, which is stored in the MRP views, the data which is stored in MRP views in the material master, that you can see directly from here itself. No need to go to material master again and again. Okay, so that's what you can access over here. Now if you want to close this, just click on this button, collapse header details. So this is header data. Okay, so this is header data. Okay, so now the next one is the MRP elements data. So this is the MRP elements data. You are able to see here. Now the stock is there. Stock, of course, stock is 0 as of now, and these are called MRP elements. All these are called MRP elements. Okay, now here there are two types of MRP elements. One is requirement elements. One is requirement elements. Requirement elements. Now the other one is receipt elements. Okay, receipt elements. Always remember, requirement element will have a minus sign. See here, you are able to see independent requirement. This is nothing but planned independent requirement. Okay, LSF. This is having a minus sign. Are you able to see a minus sign? Minus sign means it's a requirement. Blind thumb rule. If it is having a minus sign means it's a requirement element. If it is not having any sign, this means, see here it is PLORD, that is nothing but planned order. Okay, that is it having any sign? It doesn't have any sign, so that means it's a receipt element. Okay, stock is having any minus sign? No, that's why it is a receipt element. Okay, so always try to remember, if it is having a minus sign means it's a requirement element. It's not having minus sign means it's a receipt element. Suppose if I enter a sales order, it will also have a minus sign. Okay, I'll enter a sales order for this material. What is our material? 2094. Quantity, let's say I'll put 100. I'll use the plant 1000. I'm creating a sales order, customer order. I'm creating a customer order. Okay, so now when I save this sales order, it will appear on the MD04 screen. Okay, now I save the customer order, sales order. Now when we go to the stock requirement list screen, see your customer order, it is showing 14419, and what is it is having? It is having a minus sign. That means it's a requirement. Okay, so all requirement elements will have minus sign, and all receipt elements will not have that sign. That means it's a receipt element. Okay, so by this time you should be familiar what are the requirement elements, and what are the receipt elements. Okay, what are the receipt elements? Okay, now the stock requirement list screen will have latest situation of what is the current stock, and what are the open requirements and open receipt elements. Okay, so it will have all those things. Okay, so now to see a particular MRP element, let's say I want to see the planned order, what you should do is you just double click on that MRP element. You should double click on that. It will open the particular MRP element. Okay, so now from here, if you want to go to display, you can click on this display button. It will take you to the display screen. You will go to the inside of that particular MRP element. Or if you go back, if you want to make some changes to that MRP element, you click on that button, change element. Okay, and remaining things, PEG requirement, order report, we'll discuss in a minute. Okay, and from here you can execute certain transactions, certain actions from here. Suppose if you want to convert this planned order to production order, you can click on this button and you can do particular activity. So this is how you process MRP elements from the MD04 screen, stock requirement list screen. And every MRP element will have a code to it. Here you are able to see LSF is having INTREQ, that means independent requirement, and this PLORD, planned order, and the sales order is having what is a code order. That means every MRP element will have a code attached to it. Okay, so this is how you use MRP elements in the system. So now we will understand what is the difference between MRP list and stock requirement list. Okay, stock requirement list. Okay, so now this is the MRP list. Now let us go to what do you say? I'll run first once MRP. I first run once MRP. Okay, I'll execute the MRP. Now we'll see the situation of MD05 MRP list. If you go to MRP list, MD05 MRP list. So material, you enter plant, enter. See, here also same. Now the look and the feel of the both transactions remains the same. See this, I will close this, you will get confused. Okay, this is the stock requirement list screen and the other one is MRP list. Now as of now, both are looking same. Okay, so now what I will do is now what I will do is now I execute MRP. Now both are same. Okay, all requirements, all plan orders. Now what I will do is I'll post some stock to this material. I'll post some stock. Okay, now I'll post some stock. I'm making some changes to this material. Okay, I'm posting a stock through MB1C. Movement type 561. I'm using L000. Enter. 20. What is our material? 2094. 2094. So I'm posting some stock. Let's say I post 500 stock. Okay, I post 500 stock. Enter. Okay, yes. Okay, now I'm saving this. Okay, so I posted some stock. So I made some change to the material. Okay, so now if you go to the stock requirement list, screen again, see now that stock is visible immediately, 500. Okay, that means whatever you make some changes to stock particular material, those will be visible immediately. But if you go to your MRP list, if I go back and I come back again to MRP list, is the stock showing? No, the stock is not showing. Okay, that means whatever the changes you make after the MRP run, those will not be visible in the MRP list. It always shows only the result of the last planning run. After the planning run, if you make any changes, those will not be visible over here. Now the question is, when this MRP list will get refreshed? This MRP list will get refreshed when you do the next MRP run. next MRP run. So I will do the next again MRP run. That time again the changes will be visible and it will show the again the latest situation. Okay, so I'll do the MRP run again. Okay, I executed the MRP run again. Now let us go to MRP list. Now it will show that particular stock. See, now the stock is showing. Now the stock is showing. Okay, so now the question is, when you have the stock requirement list screen, when you have the stock requirement list, why the MRP list is required basically? Okay, that should be the question. See, where it is used in the industries in the real time is, let's say I executed MRP run. Okay, system has given some planned orders. Let's say we'll do this. I'll explain. So now this is a planned order. Okay, now one user has come. He deleted this planned order manually. Let's say he deleted this planned order manually. Okay, now this planned order is not there. Now one more user will come to you. He's telling that, sir, MRP is not working properly. It should generate a planned order for 100. I don't know why it is not generated. He will come to you. Then how you will see the result of the last planning run? So now as a consultant, what you should do is you should go to MRP list. Instead of checking in the stock requirement list, you should go to MRP list and you have to check over there, because it will not get refreshed, right? After MRP run, if you make any changes, those will not be visible here. Okay, now as a consultant, you should show them MRP list and tell them that, boss, the system has generated the planned order. Only thing is somebody has deleted it manually. So you have to find out who deleted it. See, here it is showing the planned order still. Even though I deleted it, still in the MRP list it is showing. That means after the MRP run, if you make any changes, those are not visible. Those changes will not be visible in the MRP list. So MRP list always try to show the result of the last planning run. So this is the real-time usage of MRP list. Okay, so that is the stock requirement list and MRP list. Okay, so now we have discussed material header. I have shown you material header. I have shown you overview tree. Overview tree we'll discuss. Okay, and then you have all MRP elements. Okay, how to process MRP list, MRP elements I have shown you. Okay, period totals and all we'll discuss in a minute. Okay, so from the stock requirement list and the MRP list screen, you can do lot of activities. Okay, so this which I have shown you already. Okay, you can do display for MRP elements. You can change. Okay, you can convert. Okay, all those activities you can do from MRP elements. Okay, and from the header, I already have shown you. You can see the material master data, stocks, and even you can see the consumption values. It is a variable header. That means header, you can collapse it or you can expand it. Okay, so that's what you can do. So here of course you have some other display options: period totals, grouping of requirements, variable display dates. This we will discuss in a minute. Okay, we'll discuss in a minute. So this from the stock and requirement list, you can do all these activities. Okay, as I have shown you, this is the one. You can open the header. You can see all the material master data. Okay, overview tree you can open here. That I'll come to. We'll discuss in a minute. This one, overview tree, and MRP elements. Whatever you want to do, you can do process over here. MRP elements. Okay, so I'll execute MRP run again for the time being. I'll increase one of the planned independent requirement to get planned orders. I'll make it 1000. Okay. So let me run MRP run again. Okay, I executed MRP run again. Okay, you got all the planned orders. Okay, so the next one we'll be covering is collective access. Okay, so here all the time we are looking at stock and requirement list for one single material, single product or single material. We are looking at for single material. Now I want to see MRP list of multiple materials at the same time. So how you do that? Okay, so you go back. Here you have collective access. Kureshi, all the questions we'll discuss in the end. I am recording these sessions. We'll discuss all the questions in the end. Okay, yeah. So collective access. You go to collective access. Instead of going to the individual access, you go to your collective access tab. Okay, here you can access stock requirement list of various materials according to certain criteria. You select them by MRP controller or by a product group or by a vendor. All those things you can use. Okay, let's say we'll execute through MRP controller. Okay, I'll use MRP controller 000. Okay, now click on enter. Okay, there were around 226 materials which will be displayed now. See, stock requirement list of these materials are shown over here. Okay, now what you have to do is you select the material, you go to its selected stock requirement list, or if you want to see this two, select this two, click on and put that button. First material it will be shown. Next, click on next material. Like this, you will be able to see the stock requirement list of multiple materials one after the other. Okay, so it is called collective access. Same thing you can do for MRP list also. Same thing you can do for MRP list. You go to collective access. Here you select based on MRP controller, and then all the materials will come. Then you will check one after the other. Okay, so that is what the collective access of MRP list or stock requirement list. Okay, so now the next one is the period totals. Okay, so what is this period totals? MRP elements are grouped by period for the period totals for display. Okay, so this type of display provides you with a faster overview of the development of material availability over time. Okay, so I'll show you. Let me go to come back to our old material. Come out of this. Okay, let us go to stock requirement list again. I'll go to MD04. Okay, this is our material. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll enter the planned independent requirements in now a weekly bucket or a daily bucket. Okay, now I'm saving this. Okay, I'll execute MRP once. All planned orders will go as I deleted the requirement. Okay, so now I'll enter the requirements now in the daily bucket. Okay, daily bucket format. So daily, I'm using now day format. Okay, previously we used to enter monthly and a daily format, weekly format, or let me enter in the weekly format. Okay, now enter. Okay, I entered in this format. Okay, now I'm saving this. Okay, so now you will have you go to stock requirement list screen. You have a very huge list. Okay, so big list. Now I'll execute the MRP. Execute the MRP again. Okay, I completed the execution of MRP. Now you go to stock requirement list. Now the list is huge. You have a lot of planned independent requirements, lot of planned orders, everything you have. Now the question is, they are in the weekly format. Now I want to see monthly format. It's a total of monthly period. Okay, so for that you will be switching over to period total options. Okay, so by the system, the options are daily, weekly, monthly. Options are there. Okay, so what you need to do is there is a button, switch to period totals. Are you able to see? There is a button is there. You just click on that button, switch to period totals. If you click on that, you can see day wise. Okay, already we entered week wise. Go to the weeks tab. Already we entered as a week wise. Okay, so week wise it is showing. Are you able to see? First week I entered 1000. Next week all the weeks I entered 100, 100, 100, and the receipt elements also shown over here. Planned orders. Okay, now I want to see in the monthly format. So just click on the monthly tab. So now it is showing monthly. Weekly requirements are clubbed into a particular month. Okay, so if you enter in the day format, it will show in the weekly format. If you enter weekly, that will get clubbed into monthly format. So this is how you access the stock requirement list if your stock requirement list is very, what is it, huge, okay, which you are not able to see in a normal display. Okay, so now again from here, if you want to switch to our normal view, you have to click on this button, switch to individual lines. Again you will go to your normal view. Okay, if you want to go to period totals view, again you click on this button, switch to period totals. Okay, so this is how you use period totals. So period totals basically club the requirements into particular period. That's all. Club the requirements and receipt elements into particular period. That's what. Okay, so that is the use of period totals. Okay, so now next one is the order report. Okay, so what is this order report? The order tree will display the individual component requirements for the selected order or requirement are displayed on several levels. Okay, so in the stock requirement list screen, you select particular order and you use this order report to navigate to the stock requirement list of the down level materials. Okay, so that is the use of order report. I'll show you that. So now 2094 is there. So 2094 is having BOM. Let's go to the BOM of this 2094. Okay, so 2094 is having these components. Now from this screen, normally what you do, if you want to go to the next material stock requirement list, what you will do, normally you take this component, and then you go back or you enter the component over here and then you display, right? Instead of that, from the same screen you can go to the stock requirement list of down level materials from the same screen. So what you need to do is you select a particular MRP element like planned order. You click the button on you put the cursor on the planned order. You just click on the button show overview tree. Okay, see, it is now showing. 2107 it is showing. Okay, so once you click on the button 2107, double click, you will be able to see 2107 from here itself. Are you able to see stock requirement list of 2107, which is the BOM component of your header material 2094 from here itself. Like this, for the all components you will be able to see over here. Okay, now if you want to hide it, now again hide overview tree. That's what. It's basically save your time. That's all. It's basically save your time. This overview tree will be basically saving. It will save your time. From the same screen, you can navigate to the stock requirement list screens of particular BOM components of that particular product or material. That's what the use of overview tree. See, as a consultant, you should know what are all the options are available from the stock requirement list screen. This in the real time, you will be using the stock requirement list screen all the time. If you are a PP consultant, most of the time you will be using this, because every material to see the situation, you will be going to this transaction. So you should be thorough with the options of all the options and available options and available facilities or whatever which you have in the stock requirement list. You should be thorough with that. Okay, so now that is the order report, or you call it as an order tree. Okay, so this is what you will be going to from the same screen. You will be going to the stock requirement list screens of your assemblies, all your down level materials.